It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. The news is also live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, we're on Premier FM 100.5 and Beach 105.5 FM, all in Takoradi. In the Bono region, we're on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we are on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Akminit Radio 96.7 FM in Kpandu and Heritage FM 107.3 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we are on Dastuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East, you are hearing us on Word FM 88.3 in Zuarungu. In the Upper West region, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, we are on Eagle FM 94.1 in Wali Wali. The news is also live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obobisa Coleman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Charles Owusukumi.
Coming up, Gusty Black Stars suffer 3-2 defeat against Portugal in their first game at the 2022 World Cup. We'll bring you reactions and some concerns raised from the match.
Then the referee gave a penalty which was not a penalty. Everybody saw that Salis was playing the ball. I don't know why, because it's Ronaldo or something. The bar, I don't know what they're doing, sleeping. It's a mess.
Also coming up, 8-member ad hoc committee set up to probe essential motion against the finance minister Ken Oforiatta lays this report before Parliament. Still ahead, tax consultant Francis Timor questions timing of the proposed 2.5% value added tax increase as announced by government in the 2023 budget statement.
Affected persons are going to be the households with low income. Certainly they are not going to be able to buy things that they are supposed to buy, especially for their daily consumption.
And later, mobile money users and operators displeased with the new e-levy directive to be applied to all transactions.
I will do cash, I will handle cash, or then I'll do bank transfers. Yes, I'll use that one to beat it because I am also wise.
Stay tuned as we bring you details of all that and more on the Citi Prime News.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for your time this afternoon. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. Now, Black Stars head coach Otto Addo has expressed disappointment with the penalty awarded to Portugal in Thursday's Thrilling Group H clash in Doha. Portugal's first goal came as a result of the contentious decision which Otto Addo believes led to Ghana's defeat in the opening match of the ongoing 2022 World Cup. Morocco-born American referee Ismail Elfath ruled in the 63rd minute that Mohamed Salisu fouled Ronaldo in the box, despite television replays showing otherwise. Otto Addo described the penalty as a special gift from the referee to the Portuguese.
Like you said, the game plan was okay, but then the referee gave a penalty which was not a penalty. Everybody saw that Salis was playing the ball. I don't know why, because it's Ronaldo or something. The bar, I don't know what they're doing, sleeping. It's a mess. We are playing the ball, it's a foul on us. Surely, this is one of the best teams in the world. Then things get difficult, but we came back strong. We had our chances in the last minutes with Naki playing clever. And this is the way it is. I can't be proud. I mean, it was good, but 0 points, 0. Yeah, we have to improve. It will be very, very tough games. The next 2 games, we have to win. And it's a different approach.
Otto Addo is the Black Stars head coach. Meanwhile, Black Stars captain Andrew Ayew believes Ghana was punished for their mistakes, but is confident the team will bounce back in their next match.
Well, I think our game plan was working really well, but in the first half we were not giving them enough tread behind, but we were solid. They were having a lot of the ball, but they were having clear chances. We know what kind of squad they are. We didn't see the penalty, but from outside it looked a bit, I don't know, because I didn't see it on video, and the penalty changed the course of the game. But after that we came back into the game, 1-1, and then we conceded 2 goals in in the space of 3-5 minutes. that changed the game. That shows that high level we can't switch off. But I'm very confident what I saw. I have a lot of belief, and I believe that if we continue like this and we tweak in some little things, we can hopefully get the 3 points in the next game.
You heard Andrea Yu, who is Black Stars captain. We are joined in studio by City Sports Rita Mensah to tell us more on this. Good afternoon, Rita. Many thanks for joining us. About yesterday's match, tell us what you think about the general performance of the team.
Good afternoon, Wilma. The Black Stars, they took part in their first game of the 2022 World Cup against Portugal, and they did well. They played well in the first half. Many people didn't think they played well, but they defended really well against the Portuguese side, who were more threatening in front of goal. But in the second half, they did play better than the first half. But unfortunately, I think what changed the course of the game for the Black Stars was the penalty that was awarded to Cristiano Ronaldo, which many believe was not a penalty. But unfortunately, the referee stuck to his guns. He was sure that it was a penalty, and he didn't attempt to review the situation and see whether it indeed was a penalty or not. So in the end, the Black Stars lost the game, but I think there are some positives to take from that. And the first African country to score more than one goal in the tournament, in fact, to score a goal at all in the tournament. So there are a few positives to take away from that, but that puts us in a tricky situation, because now we have to win a game against South Korea to stand a chance of progressing to the next round of the competition.
Okay, and we are looking at Osman's celebration after he scored the second goal. What do you make of that?
I mean, a lot of people have their different opinions about that. They feel he shouldn't have been celebrating when the team was down and needed another goal to equalize in the game. But you can't blame the young man. It's his first ever goal in the World Cup. And I think he acted out of instinct. He was excited. He didn't know what to do with himself, so he just went for the celebration, and then he did the Ronaldo celebration as well. So I think that's what sparked a lot of confusion and outrage on social media. But you can't blame the young lad. He was just excited that he had scored his first ever World Cup goal. So I don't think there's a lot in there. He was just excited about the goal. I don't think he thought too much about the situation that they were in at the moment. He was overcome with emotion, so you can't blame him for that.
And we also hear about the offside goal. Some of them are saying that the goal scored by the Portuguese, are saying it was offside. What do you think?
It wasn't an offside goal. If it was offside, the VAR and the new technology that they have brought out for the World Cup would have picked up on it, and the referee would have gone to review it, but it wasn't an offside goal. It was a legitimate goal. And so I know there are lots of discussions on social media. Yeah. I'm seeing people drawing lines and all, but it was actually a legitimate goal, unfortunately. So that's not something that should be up for debate.
Anyway, what's our next match and what are our chances?
So our next match is against South Korea. South Korea, they drew with Uruguay, who will be our last opponent for the World Cup in the group stage. So we need to win that game against South Korea. There's no two ways about that. We just need to win that particular encounter, because as it stands, we are bottom of Group H. We have 0 points. So we need to win that game to stand a chance of winning or progressing to the next round of the game, because there's no guarantee that we'll do well against Uruguay or would win or even get a draw or anything like that. So our only bet is to ensure that we pick up all 3 points against South Korea, which is going to be a very difficult task. But I think from what we saw in the game against Portugal yesterday, the Black Stars have a good chance of winning that game if they play their cards right.
So we can be hopeful.
Yes, you can be hopeful.
Anyway, finally, before we let you go, what matches do we have today?
So for today, Iran just finished playing with Wales. They just finished, and Iran won that game by 2 goals to nil, two goals to nil against Wales. Later tonight, England are taking on USA, and then at 1 p.m. Qatar will take on Senegal, that's in Group A, and then at 4 p.m. Netherlands take on Ecuador, also in Group A. So Wales and Iran are in Group B, and then England and USA are also in Group B. So as it stands now, England and Iran have 3 points each in Group B.
Thank you very much for that update. That was City Sports Rita Mensah giving us some highlights or some reactions from yesterday's match between Black Stars and Portugal. Charles has more stories.
Now, the 8-member ad hoc committee probing a censure motion against the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has laid its report before Parliament. This comes after the committee's request for an extension of time from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to finalize its report after concluding public hearings last Friday. The committee probed allegations of unconstitutional withdrawal of funds from the Consolidated Fund for the National Cathedral Project, gross mismanagement of the economy and financial recklessness leading to the collapse of the Ghana cedi as basis for a censure motion against the Finance Minister by the minority in Parliament. Members of Parliament will debate the report and vote on its recommendation.
Now, a tax consultant, Francis Timor, is questioning the timing of the proposed 2.5% increase in the value-added tax VAT, as announced by the Finance Minister in the 2023 budget statement. Government is seeking to increase domestic revenue through the VAT at a time when other revenue measures like the e-levy fail to meet targets. Francis Timor Boy says, although consumption taxes represent an easier way of raking in revenue for government, the timing of the 2.5% increase will greatly affect households with low incomes at a time when inflation is already high at 40%. However, he suggests that a focus on direct taxes and widening of the tax net to deal with government's revenue challenges, I beg your pardon.
Any indirect tax which was coming, together with the level of inflation that we are experiencing now, which is fueled mainly by the exchange rate the depreciation.
They have been unable to access the internet for the past 3 days and are sometimes unable to make calls due to the non-completion of the re-registration process. The Ministry of Communications has served notice it will deactivate all unregistered SIM cards by November 30, 2022, after it extended several deadlines. The ministry is applying sanctions including the blocking of data services to owners of unregistered SIM cards. Some of the affected customers spoke to Citi News. We don't have that story at the moment. We apologize. We'll bring it to you in our subsequent bulletins.
Now, mobile money users and operators have expressed their displeasure with the new e-levy directive to be applied to all transactions. The Minister of Finance, in his reading of the 2023 budget in Parliament yesterday, announced a reduction in the e-levy from 1.5% to 1%. However, the tax will be applied to all transactions effective 2023. Citi News spoke to a cross-section of mobile money users and vendors in Accra to ascertain their opinions on the new directive.
I'll do cash. I'll handle cash, or then I'll do bank transfers. Yes, I'll use that one to beat it, because I am also wise. If you say it has come to 1%, but it's going to be on everything you do, whether you send or you allow cash, then it means you are rather coming to punish me too. It is rather 2% now. It has not been reduced to 1%, because at first I could do allow cash and not pay anything. But now if you are even allowing cash, if you are withdrawing or you are sending, then it is now 2%. It's not 1%.
Oh, reduction 1%. What's the difference between 1.5 and 1%? Still not profitable. It's still not, meaningful. Oh, I use cash. These days I use cash. Right now I have cash. Like I just use cash. It's a bit risky, but I'm always careful. So I would rather have cash than use, cashless and I'm a bucket.
You had a cross-section of mobile money users and vendors expressing their displeasure with the new e-levy directive to be applied to all transactions.
Still on the budget statement, some business owners in the Ashanti region say the government tax policies contained in the 2023 budget statement will only worsen the cost of doing business and burden consumers. The owners say the government's announcement of the increment in the value-added tax to 2.5% will impact their operations negatively and have called on Parliament not to approve the budget. Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani has more in the following report.
Traders within the Kumasi Central Business District recently closed their shops to protest what they called unfavorable tax policies and the high cost of doing business. The government intervened and met the leadership of the traders and promised to address their concerns. Even as traders and consumers are grappling with the rising cost of goods, the increase in the value-added tax as announced by the government in the 2023 budget statement for the business owners is disappointing.
So we're so positive that as we have professed solution to government on how he can get more revenue from our sector, he'll come to Parliament today with a solution to what we have professed to him. So we're very optimistic. Unfortunately, we didn't see that. The finance minister have sought to even increase the VAT that we're complaining about, that it doesn't support the kind of business we do. We are so much disappointed. It gives us the impression that government has lost touch with realities on the ground. We all know the challenges that we find ourselves in. Disposable income have been affected. Working capital have been affected. So in a situation like this, when businesses are collapsing, but government should have probably been much more conscious, much more measured and circumspect in introducing policies that probably will save businesses than collapsing businesses.
The businesses say they will have no option but to shift the cost onto the consumer if they are pushed to the wall.
Introduction of an extra tax, of course they will say it's a consumption tax, but the point is that consumer, does it have that disposable income to pay for extra cost of food? Now we know cost of food is skyrocketing. So if you are not measured, if you are not that conscious, if you don't have that emotional relationship with the people you are governing, then there's a question mark. So we are so much disappointed. It's our prayer Parliament will not approve this budget. And they look at how they can address those tax systems that are challenging businesses. If you want to increase revenue to construct roads, what happened to the toll booths? Why don't you bring them back? Who pushed them out? I've earlier indicated disposable income has been affected. Price of items are high. Today, inflation rate is 40.4%. People can't buy. The basic means to survive are food. People can't afford them. We are bleeding, and we cry for them. For us as business, if you are pushing the wall, we will just pass on the cost to them. But would they have the capacity? Would they have the enough money to absorb that extra cost? And the answer is no.
Some members of the public are also not happy about the government's review of the e-levy without the threshold.
This thing is a cheat. It shouldn't be this way, because at first, that was last year, the government said he is taxing us 1.5, which there was hula baloo about all this sort of thing. And they rather came with that, the winning threshold, it will be 100 cedis and above. But what has changed? That now you have taxing this 1% on any transaction that you make. Meaning that you have cheated the whole nation. Now you want to widen the tax bracket and to have more money. To what extent and for how long that will this end? Because when we cast our mind back, there was a COVID levy, and over 2 years now we are still paying for this COVID levy. So this nation, when there's a tax Whenever it comes to stay.
I am worried about the review of the e-levy. Now, when we send less than 100 cedis, there will be a deduction. And I think it is just like robbing Peter to pay Paul. It would have been better if the review was not done at all.
Many on the streets of Kumasi, especially the business owners, say they will be hit hard when the 2.5% VAT is implemented.
The leadership of the Ashanti Business Owners Association says government's tax policies in the 2023 budget will worsen the cost of doing business and also burden the consumer. They want the government to do something about the tax policies. Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Ashanti Region.
We go back to our story where customers of some telecommunications service providers are flooding centers to complete the re-registration of their SIM cards after their data services were blocked. The customers say they have been unable to access the internet for the past 3 days and are sometimes unable to make calls due to the non-completion of the re-registration process. The ministry, some of the affected customers spoke to Citi News.
3 days ago, I was using my phone in the morning, and the morning I was using internet. Everything was working actively. By 10, 11 o'clock thereof, my data went off. Meanwhile, I've also bought a data bundle of 5 cities, and my data is also not working. So instead of MTN to also remind us that data will not work so that we don't buy data bundle, all of a sudden my data didn't work for 3 days now. So I have to just rush here and just come and see why it's like that. I'm using 2 MTN SIMs. One is working actively and the other one is not working actively. So I don't know why the first one they did for me is working, but the second SIM, my internet is not working. So I have to just come and confirm. They say I have to just do the biometric for the second SIM, and which is making me a little bit crazy. I don't know whether that's the due process or the punishment for me. I don't know.
What caused the delay in getting you to register your SIM card or do the complete registration?
I was busy, just busy. I cannot even open my WhatsApp.
I thought it was some of my siblings who have used my phone in another way, not knowing that they said I was not completed with my biometric registration. And in my mind there, I thought if someone hasn't completed with his or her biometric registration, the person would have not been doing calls, not about data. But I was so worried.
Those were some persons whose data have been blocked due to unregistered SIM cards. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. Still to come, minority in parliament says president's visit to the Black Stars in Qatar was the best motivation offered to the players. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Fine, anyone can become a household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, anyone. Whether market woman, student, professional, even fisherman or cobbler. YouGoFlip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand the chance of winning a house, cash, or other prizes, such as savings towards the house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win.
Contact us on 0555222490.
YouGoFlip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Oh, yes! Have you been looking for an unlimited internet? Ghana Wi-Fi is here, your most affordable internet service provider. You can now enjoy our truly unlimited and super fast internet service at your homes and offices. Browse, stream, connect to your internet TV and home security at an amazing speed with no data cap. Connect to Ghana Wi-Fi's fast unlimited internet service for only 300 Ghana cedis per month. To get connected, visit www.ghanawifi.com or contact us on 030-825-0074. Ghana Wi-Fi and my internet no swire day. Ghana Wi-Fi, truly unlimited internet for you.
What do you get when you mix the best DJs in the country, the most amazing live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prior, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Aquabua. The biggest outdoor party, of course! Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? We are changing the situation on December 24, 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Aquabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-89-73973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and City FM. This is powered by Citi TV. This is a Beyond the Return event.
Imagine. Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for your time, for staying with us. We'll continue with the bulletin. We go straight over the phone lines to speak to Citi Sports' head, Benjamin Eketia, to tell us what the mood is like over there. Good afternoon, Benjamin.
Good afternoon.
Many thanks for joining us this afternoon. We know yesterday Portugal played with Black Stars. What's the mood in the camp of the Black Stars after the match yesterday?
Well, the Black Stars, from the few people I've spoken to, have picked themselves up and ready to fight for the next two games. But when you lose a game like that, it obviously comes with a lot of pain. It's just that situation of being so near, but yet being so far. And so a lot of them have the end game is that they need to be better. There's a process that has been filed to FIFA over the conduct of the referee who was on duty on the day. And so we wait and see how that one eventually plays out. But the players themselves know that it was a game that was going to be difficult from the get-go. Ghana had its moments, Portugal had its moments. In the end, 3 points have been lost. The campaign didn't start off the way the Black Stars expected it would. And so they have to regroup really quickly and go up against the South Koreans who themselves are also looking for their first 3 points. They played out the goalless draw with Uruguay, and so they'll definitely come out kicking. But the team held a recovery training session yesterday, just so they could get their muscles a little relaxed and a little loose for the that's ahead on Monday. So that's where the team is after they are ready to pick up the pieces.
Ben, we seem to be losing you. If you could adjust yourself properly for us. Your line is breaking.
Is it better?
A little more, please.
Okay.
No, we don't seem to get it right. If you could reposition yourself properly.
Let me see if I can get to better. Can you hear me better now?
We'll have to come back to you later. The line is pretty bad. Charles has more stories.
Now, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Jinapo, has directed all large-scale mining companies to sell 20% of all refined gold to the Bank of Ghana. All community mining schemes are also expected to sell their gold outputs to the government. The directive further stated that licensed small-scale gold miners shall sell their gold to government through the Precious Minerals Marketing Company. The gold to be purchased by the Bank of Ghana and the PMMC will be in cedis at spot price with no discounts. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Akoni, explained to Citi News the objective these measures are intended to achieve.
Our member companies voluntarily agreed to work with the Bank of Ghana starting from this year. We know we have a target for next year. It's under consideration at the chamber. Member companies are considering it. Yes. So yes, it's just about leveraging what we already have running with the Bank of Ghana. And we are happy to be a part of finding a solution to the many challenges of the economy. I would not be saying that the member companies will be committing to the 20%. Like I said, it's under consideration. But the general program itself has been accepted by the industry, that mining companies generally will bring in a portion of their USD to come and run their operations. Generally, we are talking about 75% if you consider the last 5 years or so. When you work out the sum, it comes to 75% of mineral revenue being plowed back into the country to run the operations, to pay salaries, to buy fuel, to buy electricity, to buy various inputs for the mining process. Government thought that, look, it makes a lot of sense for us to exchange your gold, which you are actually going to sell into dollars, sell in dollars for Ghana cedis. Because in any case, you always would bring in the dollars and then come and change into Ghana cedis. So it's practically, just about working out the mechanisms, the legal framework, and making sure this is done. So for us, it's just a continuation of what we started with the Bank of Ghana, effectively being implemented from this year, and it's supposed to continue. Regarding the quantum mining companies, would certainly consider, their requirements, how much, for example, Ghana cedis would they want to hold, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure in due course we should be able to engage the authorities.
That was the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Akoni.
Now, the Ministry for Food and Agriculture's Planting for Food and Jobs Market, the Kumasi version, which commenced on Thursday, recorded low patronage as few farmers and patrons visited the Jubilee Park. A handful of patrons who were at the venue to purchase various foodstuffs had to wait for long hours with limited options, as only vegetables, gari and made-in-Ghana rice were the only product available. Others also said the items were not affordable as they expected. Our bureau chief for the Middle Belt, Edward Opongma, for reports.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture has commenced the Planning for Food and Jobs Market initiative here in Kumasi. People came here to the Jubilee Park to purchase various items, but they were not able to buy all the other things that they expected because some of the items were not able to get here on time.
The announcement was around 9 o'clock. They asked us to come here around 9 o'clock, and we have been here since 9 o'clock in the morning. And we have been waiting. It's almost they have been late about over 3 hours. And it's now that they have the rice. Even we are waiting for the plantain too. Nothing has come yet.
So what do you think should be done? What do you want authorities to do about it in subsequent ones?
No, you see this. We heard the announcement from one of the radio stations. They said 9 o'clock we should come to the Jubilee Park. So if they are making the announcement, they have to make specifically about their time. Because we cannot come and waste our time over here, wasting our time, staying here for about 3 hours plus. You see, we are not satisfied about it.
What we are expecting is it has not yet come in. So we don't know whether we should go or not. And I'm a student nurse, I have to go to the hospital too. So I don't know whether I should wait for the things I need or I should go.
So what exactly are you looking for, and for how many hours have you been here?
Oh, it's like I've been here for maybe 5 hours now, and we want the plantain and the other stuffs, not only vegetables.
While some patrons are excited about the various products that they've been able to purchase from here, others are dissatisfied.
I can see that it's a very good initiative, but what they should watch out is that the prices that they are giving us here shouldn't be higher than what is in town. Because that is the complaint that has been coming. So they should make sure they give us a very good price.
What are some of the things that you actually came here and you've been checking and you feel the prices are not as cheaper as you expected?
The rice. I know some places elsewhere in Kumasi, what they are giving to us at 70 cedis is 50 cedis. Yes, unless they come out to tell us the X factor that is making room for that higher price. Else, the price should go down.
The vegetables are okay. For instance, this one is organic. I used to buy around 8 cedis or 10 cedis from the news, what do they call it? Greenhouse on the Mango Road. It's about 8 cedis to 10 cedis. So this one is 5, so it's okay. But the rice is 4.5 kilos. And they are selling it for 70 cedis. And I think it's a little bit dear. They should come down.
But generally, what do you think about this exercise? For how long have you been here?
I was here in the morning and they told me that the goods are not. So I went and then took their number. So when I called them, they said it's in. So I came. That's why I'm here. I want to see. Some of us, we compare before we buy. We don't just buy. Yes. So this one is better. That's why I've bought it. But the rice, I'm contemplating leaving it because the price is not all that cheap.
Well, I came purposely to buy foodstuffs like rice and yam. Unfortunately, I didn't get yam, but I've got rice, and that is, I'm okay with it.
What do you think about the various prices and how the whole exercise has been so far?
Well, the price, I'm not much worried about it.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture is optimistic that based on this initiative, they'll be able to control prices of various food commodities.
We are saying that if we continue this exercise, people will realize that produce over here is affordable. They will come. And as they come, people will not be going to the open market, right? And it will force them also to reduce their price.
But some people are complaining that the prices here are even higher or are just like the other ones.
Oh, for me, human beings always speculate. The fact is that, for example, what I heard was about the rice. But this rice is not just a mere rice. This is a rice that is processed. It has been packaged, right? And if you compare this rice even to the imported rice, it is just, other hours is even better than the imported rice.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture says, although it has encountered some initial challenges, it is working towards resolving all those issues.
It's the beginning of our exercise, and there were some challenges which is beyond our control. For example, we were expecting vehicles to be here early before 9 o'clock. Some of these vehicles got broken. So the lesson learned is that, for example, on Wednesday and Thursday next week, the goods that we are expecting, we'll make sure that the goods will be here by Tuesday evening. Yes, Tuesday evening, so that by Wednesday morning, at least you come, the goods are there.
As to whether this initiative will be sustained and will be able to help control prices of various food commodities, time will tell. For Citi News, I'm Edward Oponmafo, Jubilee Park, Kumasi.
Still on the planting for food and jobs markets, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture says despite criticism of the initiative, it is confident of achieving its target of relieving the masses of the current hike in food prices. In this report, Citi News' Akosio Tree gives a wrap of the initiative and the ministry's plans in sustaining the program.
You see this plantain? This is cocoa plantain. If you look at this plantain, it is going for any ordinary market. You get it at 40 Ghana cedis. But I say come and pick it at 20, just 20 Ghana cedis. If this is not alleviation of hardship, then I don't know.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture on the 11th of November began piloting the Planting for Food and Jobs market at the premises of the ministry. Prior to the initiative, many were skeptical over its potential to mitigate the plight of Ghanaians as food prices soared. But on the first day, scores of individuals thronged the premises of the ministry as trucks came in to offload bunches of plantain for sale. A bunch of plantain was sold between 10, 15, 20 and 25 Ghana cedis, depending on the number of fingers one could get. The buyers who trooped in were excited about the prices, describing it as cheaper.
To buy a sack of yam, yam, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the price was really cheap. I got like 3 for 10 cedis and then 2 for 10 cedis. So I bought 60 cedis in all, making 14 pieces.
60 cedis?
Yes, please. And then I got 14 tubers of yam.
What else did you get?
I came to buy vegetables too.
Okay, so just show me how much you bought.
Okay, so I bought 1 cabbage, carrots, 10 cedis.
10 Ghana cedis for all of these?
Yes, please.
And then you bought cabbage.
Cabbage too, yeah, 10 cedis.
I see. So it means that it's better off coming here than going to the regular market.
Yeah. And then the prices here are really cool. I also came for plantain, but they said some is not around.
Yes,
I'll come back on Thursday for the plantain
do
too.
more shopping.
Yes.
However,
bypass and then get something.
Okay. So what have you found so far? What are they?
I'm now inspecting the sachets of plantain.
What's your impression so far of the PFJ
Wonderful,
market?
wonderful. This is the best so far the government has instituted.
This is very cheap. Okay. This is very cheap as compared to the bunch getting it at 20 Ghana cedis is very cheap.
the PFJ market on subsequent days expanded. It introduced tubers of yam, vegetables and local rice. The ministry came under pressure due to the numbers that showed up in their quest to get food items at lower costs. It therefore replicated the PFJ market at various centers in Accra, including Obrasport at Circle, Tudu and Makola markets.
I'm so excited because our minister is doing well. In fact, see about markets anymore. Market women are killing us. But Nyamia Domia minister, Shania Mikiteo, 15 cities, oh, Mato.
There was near chaos at some of these centers following a mad rush for food items. The PFJ sales executives called for the aid of security personnel to provide adequate security to enable them do their work with ease.
So we are pleading the government from tomorrow gone, it should give us a security, because without security it's not easy. Even some people are hurting themselves. We are so worried. So we are pleading the government from tomorrow going to give us security. That will help us. That will help us. But we are pleading.
Well, was it that chaotic here in the morning?
Yes, very serious. Even some people are falling down. Some people are knocking people. I don't know how to explain it. So we are pleading. All we need is security. All we need is security.
It has been a 2 weeks journey already for the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. The determination for them has been the continuous duplication of the markets in other regions, including Ashanti region, which began yesterday but witnessed low patronage. However, the ministry says they are focused on delivering their mission of supporting farmers, traders, and also providing affordable food for improved livelihood.
There have been some few responses from the market, and people are okay. We've had some concerns from the public, which we will address. As for criticism, yes, we were expecting it, because you don't think that such a program as a pilot program is a novelty. We didn't expect to be 100% perfect. So we are well aware of the criticisms, and we're going to work on it.
That report was filed by Citi News' Akosua Ochre.
Now, the minority leader in Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, says the president's visit to the Black Stars in Qatar was the best motivation offered to the players. President Akufo-Addo paid a visit to the national football team in Qatar ahead of their game with Portugal, a move which has been criticized by a cross-section of the public. But in a statement on the floor of Parliament, the minority leader says the gesture by the president was encouraging.
We commend the Ghana Black Stars
The country is still united and standing strong behind them to bring us the laurels of gold, which will be to advance to the next stage and make sure that they bring the cup home. It was encouraging to see the president interact with our players. That's the best motivation they could get. I'm sure he would have whispered some assurance to them what the country would have done for them if they were able to win the first, second, advancing into the next stage. And Mr. Speaker, again, to commend the Black Stars leadership. Dede Ayu, for showcasing the smock that you wore so beautifully yesterday. My understanding from what I've read is that when they were entering Qatar, all of them dressed gallantly as Ghanaians, showcasing a made in Ghana product of a smoke. We should encourage the use of it. So, Mr. Speaker, probably as you do parliamentary diplomacy, we now have sports diplomacy. How we do it probably, we all will learn to see how we use football, which unites this country. But, Mr. Speaker, we can be very, very proud of the performance of the Black Stars, and we should encourage them. If they are able to win their next two matches, we still have the opportunity to qualify to the next stage. So all the best to the gallant Black Stars.
You heard Minority Leader in Parliament Haruna Idrisu. The chairman of the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament, Isaac Isiama, called for maximum support for the national football team, the Black Stars, in the 2022 FIFA World Cup, despite the defeat.
The game demonstrated all the three departments of football. Solid defense, you saw it, very solid defense, a very effective, strong midfield, we saw it for the Black Stars. And quite piercing attacking machinery was also demonstrated yesterday. Yes. So all the three departments of the game were exhibited yesterday. So I was happy about that. And Mr. Speaker, I think football is about fairness. When you invest so much on a tournament, we invest so much on a tournament like this, and when the team affects so much, Mr. Speaker, then what is it that we are doing to ourselves? That each country spends so much in order to have a fair game. A game that refereeing will be on point, that refereeing will be acceptable to all of us. But when you go and a decision is taken against you, and affects your progress, I think that's where all of us are worried about what happened yesterday. Officiating once again has come to question. And I would rather urge the Blasters to do more concentration on the field of play. We expect the fans to do more because morale support is always important.
That was the chairman of the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament, Isaac Isiama. We have reconnected with head of Citi Sports, Benjamin Nketia, live from Qatar. Hello, Benjamin. If you can hear me, before we lost you, you were telling us about the mood of the team. What more can you say?
Thank you, Wilma. Yes, like I was saying, the team have held a recovery training session. They put the defeat behind them because they obviously know that they will not recover their 3 points. So the plan is to forge ahead for the game against South Korea. And so that's where the attention has been focused now. They will hold a training session tomorrow. I personally expect Otuado to make some changes to his squad because the opponent is very different. The objective is also very different now, even though your objective, overall is to win. But now the scenario has changed a little. And so that's where we are as things stand now.
And what would you say are the chances for the Black Stars in our next match?
Well, I wish I could tell you, but I'm not on the pitch playing the football. What I can tell you is that against South Korea, they're definitely ranked higher than us on the FIFA rankings. They have a very decent team, and they will also be fired up by the fact that they only managed a goalless draw in their first encounter. And so there's a lot at stake here. There's a lot to play for. Both teams will want to be in that knockout phase. And as things stand now, it's an open group, but Ghana is bottom of the group now because we lost our game. They have 1 point, Uruguay have 1 point as well, and then Portugal top the group with 3. So we need to treat things as seriously as they could possibly be because a false result in the next game could possibly mean that Ghana will be on an early flight back home.
Thank you very much for that update. That was head of Citi Sports, Benjamin Nketia, live from Qatar. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at Adabaka in Accra. Coming up, General Agriculture Workers Union says 2023 budget statement for the agriculture sector lacks clarity. We'll bring you details of that shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Imagine a world where all domestic, electrical, and household appliances were excluding the 100% price tags. Well, promo on promo Black Friday, ready for the holidays. Yes, it's nationwide from 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th to 27th of November. It's promo on promo Black Friday. How lucky you are to experience the massive clearance. Come for your Samsung, Nesco, Media, and Toshiba products. Everyone has got a chance to grab anything from television, microwave, fridges, cookers, blenders, sound tower, and many more. And sales at unbelievable prices. Don't hesitate, it's nationwide. Venue Accra, Ring Road, Homelands, Pentas, Coca-Cola Runabout, all the way to Mankasim, Tamale, Kumasi, and Takrady. The Great Bazaar, EGL, the massive clearance. Call 0242-439-437. Promo on promo Black Friday. Any more questions?
Salsa, check. Delicious food, check. Great vibes, check. And incredible drinks, check, and check. Join us at Xenia Event Center on the last Friday of every month for a hot evening the Latino way with El Caliente. Let's add the heat with our El Caliente night at Xenia Event Center. It's going to be hot every time as we enjoy all the Latino flavor with the food, the drinks, the salsa, and engaging activities. Time is 6 p.m. at Xenia Event Center on the last Friday of every month. It will be mucho caliente, and Xenia Event Center is gonna give you a memorable night every time with this experience. Locate Xenia Event Center in Cantonment on the Gifford Road. For enquiries, please call 0559 700 433. Media partners is Citi FM. See you at El Caliente at Xenia Event Center.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, says the 2023 budget statement for the agriculture sector lacks clarity on how government intends to implement its proposed measures. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, yesterday indicated that efforts are underway towards the establishment and expansion of local fertilizer production plants, as well as some financial commitment aimed at supporting farmers. GAU, however, argues that these policies would not address the challenges confronting the sector. Edward Kariwe is the General Secretary.
Well, when they are saying they are making progress, what is that progress? You know, what is that progress? They are going to increase inputs, fertilizer. By what means? When the ministry is cutting down expenditure on agriculture, you know, because from 2021, when the subsidy on the fertilizer was 36%, in 2022, it has been reduced to 15%. The total quantity of fertilizer subsidized in 2021 has been cut down by up to a quarter. You see? And if you see government policy direction in this way, prior to budget, and the budget comes and it does not tell you clearly that it is reversing this. Of course, what they are saying that they have set up a fund, 500 million, to be given to banks that done it. We are not impressed. That's what I'm saying. That the budget is so hovering within generalities, and given the challenge that we have today, you can't use general policy statements to address those challenges. We need specific, tangible, measurable, targeted measures. And I am yet to see that in the budget.
Edward Kariwe is the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union.
Still on the budget, the Member of Parliament for Anlo, Richard Kwame Sefe, has kicked against the increase in value-added tax VAT by 2.5%. The Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, in his presentation of the 2023 budget statement on Thursday, announced an increase of VAT from 12.5% to 15% effective January 2023. In an interaction with journalists, the MP says the decision is likely to cause an increase in tax evasion, which will undermine the purpose of the tax.
This budget, as far as the taxes are concerned, I realize the government is not to the level of the people. Some years ago, when the issue of Repreku, that was organized by the current president, was invoked, they were against the mere introduction of the VAT. And finally, when the VAT was withdrawn and reintroduced, they were still against it, speaking evils about it. But here we are. When they came first, they increased it to 17.5, from 15 to 17.5. Now, they are looking for another 2.5% from January to introduce. So you realize that they are not with the people at all. Already, the people are suffering. The citizens are suffering. And you are now introducing another 2.5 VAT. I think it's an overkill. If care is not taken, most people will try to run away from paying taxes because they realize that if you want to come to the mainstream, you'll be taxed the more. So they would like to do things that will not inure to the benefit of the country.
That was the Member of Parliament for Unlock Constituency, Richard Kwame Sefe.
Now, some diabetic patients and health practitioners are lamenting the high cost of medication for diabetes in the country. They say despite the inclusion of type 1 diabetes on the National Health Insurance Scheme, there are still some complications in getting access to certain drugs. In an interaction with stakeholders at a conference themed Tackling Diabetes, a pediatrician, Adeline Asante Kwabia, asked for government intervention to help make drugs available to patients.
Recently, I think the challenge of the cost of insulin is also another thing. It's provided on the National Health Insurance Scheme, yes, but access is also a challenge because for some of them, even though the pharmacies are accredited with National Health Insurance, in the last couple of weeks, it's been that because the cost of the insulin is so high, it is difficult for the pharmacies to give them the insulin on insurance, and so they have to pay. If they are paying out of pocket, they will get the insulin, but if they have to use their health insurance, then it's not available.
Adeline Asante Kwabia is a pediatrician at the 37 Military Hospital. Also, a diabetic patient, Francis Kojo, shared his frustration in accessing medication using the NHIS card.
The truth is that it's just a lip service. They have added diabetes to the healthcare issues. Yes, when you go to the hospital, they pay for the outpatients. They'll tell you whatever, but the truth is everything must be paid out of pockets. I'm a lived example, and that's what I do. If I don't have the money, I can't survive. Everything is paid out of pocket. So the health insurance, something must be done about it. They are talking. Whatever they are saying is true. I'm begging them to implement it. Let it happen because we want it to happen. But they should prioritize prevention.
You just heard an individual living with diabetes, Francis Kojo. And that's how we end the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. For more news, you can log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obubi-Sakoman, and this afternoon I was here with
Charles Owusukumi.
Many thanks for your time. Up next is the City Business News.
City 97.3. More variety.
What do you get when you mix the best DJs in the country, the most amazing live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prayer, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Aquabua. The biggest outdoor party, of course. Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? Hey, we are changing the situation on December 24, 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Akwabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-8973-973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and City FM. This is powered by Citi TV. This is a Beyond the Return event.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new